Eddie, I wanted to talk about that draft over in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. It was the most incredible thing I have seen in a long time. And I love to say I measure people in distance traveled, Eddie. And I'm talking about the draft that I used to do in New York and the draft I just did in Nashville. That was incredible, man. What were your thoughts when you saw that?
Oh, man, Mike. I've seen a lot of different things, been to a lot of events around the country, Super Bowls, Pro Bowls, been in New York for the draft. And I have to say, the city that I live in right now, I'm super proud of Nashville, Tennessee. Got a bid. They got the bid process late about last time, like 2018, was a long shot to get the draft. Some of the officials from the NFL came down to see how we would handle an event of this magnitude, saw how we did the Stanley Cup playoffs and how we handled the crowd when the Predators won their run 2 years ago. And, man, I tell you what, to see a sea of people from the stage, from where we were standing, Mike, out to see almost 8 blocks covered of people, both on the streets and on the rooftops, people having a good time, partying, celebrating our great game. And what's amazing to me is they were all there to see the draft.
Yes.
There's nothing really exciting to see the draft. I see guys come across the stage, but I'm really proud of the city. We handled it beautifully, man. It was awesome. Awesome all the way around.
Listen, and Nashville, I've been to Nashville a few times on appearances. I had to shoot a commercial there one time in Nashville, and I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know there was 600,000 people in Nashville, and there was 600,000 people out for that weekend. I was like, where did all these people come from? It was beautiful, man. And like you talked about, I did the draft to stand on that stage and look at the sea of people. That was incredible. I mean, I wish everybody could have just laid their eyes upon that in that moment. It was incredible.
Yeah, man, in the love. You know, it was a love that was amongst guys like yourself, the Hall of Famers, Dion, yourself, seen a few other guys, Marcus Allen, Tim Brown, and the fans from all over the world, not just around the country, all over the world. You have people from London, Germany, France, all to celebrate this time here in Nashville, Tennessee. You know, this is the best-kept secret, I think, in the country. People come here all the time, Mike, from Thursday to Sunday to party down on Broadway, and the NFL did a magnificent job of laying the grand stage and really showing these rookies and everybody else, hey, this is how we do it. This is the NFL. We're going to have a good time. We're going to celebrate our great game. And these young men coming into the NFL this upcoming year. So it was fantastic all the way around, bro.
Yeah, it really was. And I don't know if you know Pete. I'm butcher his last name, Apanaki, how you pronounce his last name. He's Roger Goodell's right-hand man, and we were talking about it. We were saying every year we should send a postcard to Radio City Music Hall and tell them thank you because the draft's on the move now because they had an Easter play. I don't know how many people know about this. They had an Easter play that they could not move, and they said, no, they can't give you those dates. And so the NFL decided to take it on the road, and this is what has become of it. So we need to send those guys a thank you each and every year for having that Easter play.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying, Eddie? But I want to talk to you about a couple of things also, Eddie. I want to talk to you, Eddie, about a couple of things. Eddie, just your thoughts on what young running back you saw. The first running back was taken was Jacobs out of Alabama by the Raiders. What running back did you see in this draft that you think will make an instant impact in the NFL?
Wow, that's a really good question. I like the kid that went to Oakland. I tell you, an intriguing guy that played running back, but now is playing slot receiver, who can do a lot for you, is Jalen Hurd. Kid played at Tennessee, running back there, and went to Baylor last year. I believe, I can't remember where he got drafted, but he's going to be a great fit for anybody because now he becomes a massive problem in the slot in the middle of the field. He's a big kid, 6'4", about 250 pounds, can run a 4.4, and then he can line him up at running back. So he's an intriguing pick for me at that position. But overall, you know, you got some guys, Singletary, Devin Singletary out of Florida Atlantic is also a good running back. a little on the small side, but he runs like a big guy in between the tackles. The kid out of Temple also is a good kid to keep your eye on as well. So you just never know, Mike, in terms of which running back's going to come to the forefront, because you can pick up anybody in the later rounds. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and every year you get a running back coming in the league, that's tearing it up and doing great things and really propelling his team. Watch Alvin Kamara a couple of years ago, just propels his team into the next stratosphere. And every year, though we see that, Eddie, every year we're still devaluing the running back position. People are talking about, you can win with this running back, or you can win with any group of running backs, and things like. How does that make a guy like you feel, and what are your thoughts when you hear stuff like that?
It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful, Michael. You know it. I mean, you played the game. You're a wide receiver, and it would be tough for you to have 3 rings without number 22. All right, he was the heart and soul of that offense. He made it go. It opened up the passing attack. And if you're going to win a championship, you've got to have a running back to do it. I mean, not just a tandem. You got to have a bell horse running back who can tote it in November, December, and January and get it done. So, this nonsense of having 3 running backs by committee and trying to get cute, bring a guy in on screens and another guy in between the tackles. I mean, it doesn't set anything up and really try to gear it toward the passing game. No, you got to have that guy, that special guy like an Ezekiel Elliott, like a Todd Gurley, like the other kid at New Orleans you just mentioned, Kamara. You got to have somebody that's going to be a game changer that can change the course of a game and control the clock when the weather isn't right. So it really upsets me when they try to devalue the running game. You have Le'Veon Bell up in the Jets. So I think it all comes back to the running game eventually, Mike. But I think we're all enamored with the numbers that these quarterbacks are putting up on a yearly basis at this point.
Yeah, the rules are made for those offensive guys. This is Mike Irvin. I'm sitting in for Rich Eisen on the Rich Eisen Show, and I'm speaking with NFL Hall of Famer Eddie George, and Eddie sharing with us about how beautiful that draft was in his hometown, Nashville, Tennessee. But Eddie, you also are an Ohio State Buckeye. You're Buckeye through and through. I love when I'm in that area when we go down to Ken for the Hall of Fame. And I was with Chris Carter, and we were in the restroom, using the restroom at the time, and there was a whole bunch of men. And all you got to do is just yell, OH! And everybody in the bathroom yells it right back. I mean, we're all sitting at the urinal, and they still yelling I-O. That just tripped me out. That was funny to me, Eddie. But let me ask this, though, Eddie. As you watch your quarterback from Ohio State, Dwayne Haskins, gets passed up by the New York Giants, what were your thoughts on that, and what are your thoughts on what he could do in Washington?
I was shocked. I was shocked. I mean, I know Kyler Murray was he picked up a lot of momentum toward the beginning of the draft. They seemed to go number 1, so I wasn't as shocked as that. But when New York passed on Dwayne Haskins, I was really perplexed behind the fact that here's a kid that's the most prolific passer in our school's history, in the Big Ten's history. 50 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions against elite competition week in and week out. We've seen what he can do. I was really shocked that the Giants passed up on him. But when the Redskins picked him up, and his response was, they done messed up now. He's hungry to show the world what he can do. I felt that he was slighted in the Heisman in terms of votes. I think the right guy won it, but I think he deserved more love. I felt like he got slighted during the draft process as well. So I think he's going to come in hungry. He's going to come in focused. He has a strong family support. He has Sean Springs, who's his mentor, the cornerback from Ohio State, who was with him during his high school years. So he has a strong pedigree when it comes to football knowledge, and the kid doesn't get in trouble. So for him to come in with a chip on his shoulder now, Michael, He's going to set the league on fire. You get the right weapons around this kid, I think he's going to light it up.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download The Rich Eisen Show app.